Hey everybody, how you doing? This is Barry, that Goat Metal Show. Today, Thursday, February 19th, 2026. All right, this video is going to premiere on Saturday, the 21st, because that's when we're going to get to the end of the week. So it'll premiere, even though today is Thursday, but fuck it. All right, this is basically part three of George G's Room of Rocks February Forgotten Albums Challenge. All right. Every week he wanted us to go and get two albums through our collection that we haven't maybe listened to or touched in like I think it's between 10 and 30 years. So I picked out two for this week. And, just make sure you guys, you go check out, George, George over his channel as George G's Room of Rock 9868. All right, he's got a fucking great channel, great guy. He dwells into all genres of rock and metal and everything in between, and all around a really nice guy, man. Really, really nice guy. So when he did this, man, I jumped on it and I said I'm gonna do it. All right, so let's get over to the first one. All right, so this band right here, as far as this release goes, I don't know what to say. Look, after taking it, I didn't really sit down and listen to it for a long, long time. I mean, songs of it probably popped up here and there, but never really sat down and listened to the whole entirety of the album. And I should appreciate the album more. I got my boy Alex Marquez filling in on here because unfortunately these guys lost their drummer Vinny Days, and that's Demolition Hammer's Time Bomb. Okay. Basically, they right after Epidemic of Violence, and they were there, going through it as far as like that popularity, the unfortunate death of Vinny Days, Demolition Hammer kind of went on a little rut. They got Alex Marquez to fill in to do drumming for this album, and even with Alex Marquez drumming on it, I was still a little taken back on the album. It didn't really. I don't know. It's kind of tough after you hearing the first two Demolition Hammer albums, and then you go here where they just kind of like slow things down, try to be a little bit more groovy. I don't know. It didn't when it came out. Again, this is all during the time when I was younger. I mean, I sat down, I listened to it. It's not a bad album. It's not a bad album to listen to. I'm glad that I was able to listen to it again, but I'm gonna let you go and take a look.
Punishment. No. Lost into my train of problem. No one's got the guts to stop me. Above the law and on the day. Corruption. To set protected cover up. Shake out imposter. Payoff extortion.
Yeah, so I mean, if you see what I'm talking about, I mean, it's like just think about if I mean most people probably weren't even born when these albums came out anyway, but guys in my age range will understand. After hearing both first two albums, you get that hard, fast, rough energy. And then, you kind of get into this where they slow things down. Then every time I see stuff like this, I think about Jimmy from the Block, where he talks about, I guess this was during the era where all these fucking albums were taking out their logos or something. I don't know. It's something, man, that's got to be like a whole video on its own to go and discuss why these bands did that. I'm sure it had to do business wise. Probably their labels wanted them to, take it out, whatever. That's something that's going to be for another video, I'm sure. But, yeah, that was my take on the album. Listening to it now, I could appreciate it. I think it's a good listen as far as, since my range has been more open to accepting of slower and, now since I'm getting more into like the doomy stuff. Not that this is a doom album, it's just a slower pace than what I was used to listening to from the first two Demolition Hammer albums. So, but, it's a good album. I wouldn't disregard it. It's a great, great listen, and glad I'm keeping it, man. All right, glad I'm keeping it. All right, so This next album, again, most of this goes into the same field that I had during the early times when these albums came out. Their first or second release was always on point, and then when they got into the little later releases, it kind of like dwindled down a little bit. But I kind of like was on the feel that this second album was gonna at least be as good or better than the first outing. And talk about Body Count More Dead. Okay, now I sat down and this was an album I haven't even really listened to. Oh gosh, I want to say over 20 years. I haven't really sat down and listened to this album in that long. And then, when I first got it and I sat down and listened to it when it first came out, it didn't give me that feel that Cop Killer did. The first album was, it blew everybody away. It was unique. Fucking Ice-T jumping into, playing hardcore and metal. It just blew everybody away. So I guess I was expecting more of the same or better when this album came out. And, it was like, I think the production was a little off for me when I first heard it. It didn't have that same feel. I don't know. But I sat down, listened to it again, of course. That's the whole point of this this thing that we got going over here. And it's not bad. Now, is it one of the better Body Count albums? Definitely not. A lot of the newer stuff blows this album away, to be honest with you. But do I think this is a terrible album that I just want to chuck into the river? No, it's an okay listen. I mean, I still have my critiques with it, like some of the Ice-T with the overlays and shit like that. I wasn't too thrilled with that, But it is what it is, and that's just the way I felt. Listening to it at that time. When you're young, you just want to have that feel of the same thing you had before. I may let you guys take a quick little listen. Yeah, so look, that one wasn't actually that bad. I mean, I should have probably pinpointed some of the ones I didn't really like too much, but some of the stuff in this album, just like I said, listening to it for the during that time when I was younger, with that hype that I had from the first album, it kind of like dwindled. And don't get me wrong, when the other albums started coming out later on, when they came back, I was kind of hesitant, but those albums are great. The newer albums that they put out are fucking awesome. So gotta give Body Count a lot of credit for sticking to their guns and doing some good shit. All right, so that's pretty much that, man. That's pretty much that. So those are my two albums for week 3. All right, so week 4 hopefully will be on time. All right, George, and we'll get it going. So make sure you guys go over there, check out George and George G's Room to Rock, and let him know Barry from That Goat Metal Show sent you. He's a great guy and, knows his shit. Okay. So that's pretty much it right now. All right. Thanks again, everybody, for liking, subscribing to the channel. Make sure you just continue to keep checking us out, and we should have some more stuff coming up. All right. This is Barry, That Goat Metal Show. Stay.